Apologies for the voice, a bit sick today, so hopefully this goes okay. So today I'm going to talk about minor 6 chords. Now these are less well known than say minor 7 or minor 9, but they do have a place. So A minor chord, for example, standard, has the notes root, minor 3 and a 5th, and that repeats. So that's kind of standard. It's a bit boring. It's fine when you want to start. Nothing wrong with it. It's sort of a workhorse chord. Then a minor 7 is where you keep going up. So you've got root 3, 5, flat 7. So you get this kind of sound. So it's a little bit softer, a little bit less direct than a minor chord. So minor 7. So if you want something a bit smoother, a bit more jazzy, a bit different, you can use that. So minor 6 is a bit weird because on the scale it's there. So in a minor scale that would be an F, so then you get this kind of sound, and that's used in I can't remember the Eminem song, but it's this one. So that sound, and in Metallica's One, Fade to Black, sorry. So they've got that. It's a very tense sound, which is cool. This comes in the natural minor scale, so B minor, A, G. And you get a real nice tension on that. What you might want to do is have a softer sound, so a minor chord that's built from the second note of the degree, of the scale, which is the Dorian scale. So an A minor, this is like changing the F to an F sharp. So changing just an F to an F sharp doesn't seem like a lot of change, but instead of this kind of thing, you now get this. So this is a common sort of James Bond trope. You'd have that sound. And what's interesting about the minor 6 is it doesn't quite resolve. The tension comes from how close it is to finishing. So D7 chord resolves to a G major, and because they've got 2 notes that want to resolve really closely, the tension is quite high because it's like, oh, it's almost there. It's all you need to do is just move that little bit, and then you're done. So it's quite tense. If you have a chord that's a bit more settled, let's see, D9, a bit less tense. The tension there isn't as immediate. It's a bit more nebulous, a bit more vague. It does want to resolve, but it's not in as much of a rush to do that. It's not as immediate as that. Almost kind of forces that, like, come on, it's right there, let's go, instead of. So sometimes you want more or less tension. Sometimes you want really immediate, like the D7, down to a G. Sometimes you want it to be just less direct, so that's why you use extended chords. So with a minor chord, if you want the minor chord to be less direct, you can make it a minor 6, one shape, minor 7 to there, minor 6. And why is this useful? It just gives a different kind of sound. So this is so it's A minor over an F. So it's quite tense. I use this in Torn by Indighost. So I'll put all of those in there. So the F chord gives that real tension. Saw chord, cheers. I'm quite new to this. I will see if I can work out how to do that. I can see 2 things come up there. Please chuck another comment in. Hi, Blair Dawson. Yep, Custom Tailor and Carl Crafts. So the minor chords, I hope the sound's coming through, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. It gives that kind of chill jazz sound. And it's a nice way to vamp, which is, vamping is like just kind of doing a loop for a musical idea. So it could be 1 or 2 chords, maybe, could be. and that vamp can stay for a long time. If you're like, I've done a lot of work on cruise ships, and sometimes you're the backing band and you just got to like just have some music going while just people are like messing around or someone's doing a talk, so just you're dancing. Nice. I cannot dance, so lucky I can play guitar or I would be forever alone. So that minor shape there is A string, fret 5, and they got 4, 5, 5. And with guitar being an easily transposable instrument, you can really just move that around. There's a song called Recorder Mate, it's a jazz song, and it starts on A minor, 6 kind of sound up to a C minor. So it's a nice kind of vamp. In D minor, you can do a cool thing. So from there, come down. Thing is, this takes from a different scale. So D minor scale would be D minor, C, B flat, which is quite a cool vibe. That's sort of Iron Maiden type style. If you change the B flat to a B, it doesn't immediately intellectually think, oh, that's going to be a massive change, but it's quite a weird sound. That's used in Doctor's Calling by Megadeth. And just having that, even so, it changes not only the sound of the chord but also the progression, because instead of doing this, you're doing this. And it's just got like a slightly awkward, slightly weird, jazzy kind of thing. So you can imply that movement by changing the D to a B. So, and it's got that soft sound. So again, go back to that Eminem example. It gives a different sound. It would be. Do I ever use a plectrum? Yes, a lot in electric. Not as much for acoustic. I like playing with my fingers. Got one here. Jazz 3 is all of the day. So definitely, I think much better with my fingers on a acoustic. And I like to play stuff like this. Which would, it's possible with the pick. Maybe on a record I would do that, but often for recordings I just use my hands for the clean parts as well. My band Indigos, which is quite a while ago, it'd be nice to play with them again, but spread all out of the world, and obviously money is an issue. These kind of harmonies. I wrote a lot of stuff with my fingers. Another song called Never. And I just prefer to play that with my fingers. It can be done. Definitely on a nylon string it sounds a lot more organic. It can sound quite aggressive. Maybe a little bit mechanical, which is fine, but I just prefer to use my fingers. If I was doing solos, yeah, probably play with a pick. Yeah, even though on acoustic with a steel string, if it's John Mayer songs. That's a bit out of tune. Intonation on cheap guitar, but yeah, I like to use my fingers. So back to the minor 6 sound. Another shape you can do is a minor 7. So this is in D. So 5, 5, 6, and then change that to. So we've got the C there, and then it requires adjusting the fingers like that. So that. And D minor, you can chuck in the E string. So that's quite a cool sound. So for a minor sound from there, or natural minor, it's a bit of a stretch. Every breath you take. Again, I prefer to play that with fingers. Can be done with a pick. You can kind of cheat by using that open A string. Just allows the fingers a bit of a rest before you do that. Can do it with a pick. A bit out of practice. I've had to sing that as well, which is quite difficult because in the Police, Sting usually played the bass when he was singing, so quite hard to do that when you're singing. Although he did write the guitar part, I think. And also another one similar is Message in a Bottle. Again, I just prefer to play that with my fingers. And if you listen carefully, there's actually 2 guitar parts in there. I think Paul Davis did a video on that, showing there's actually some harmony part, which is, I don't know, or something, which sounds really cool. So that is cool. But again, I prefer my fingers on chordal stuff because I just find it easier to do that. And I generally write acoustic style stuff with my fingers as well, which might give you slightly different shapes as well. John Mayer likes to play with his fingers a lot, especially on the first album. So the kind of chords he would use would be often using the thumb on the bottom like that. So in classical music, that's considered a sin. Like, you'd never have your thumb over the top. But it allows you to do things like this, and then your chords, arpeggiations might be 1 note and then the 3, which you could do with a pick. But then with a pick, you might be more tempted to do more linear movements. Whereas with the fingers, you can do just quite... It rolls a lot more, like Nothing Else Matters. That's played with the fingers. And it just arranges nicely like that. One exercise, if you are looking to get into finger picking, is just use the open strings and have, so thumb on the thick string and then G, B and E, these fingers. And then move the thumb up to D. So just rolling that. In country music, they call those banjo rolls. They'll have certain patterns. So one might be, one might be, or for example, like, I know very little about this, but once you've got those patterns down, it becomes quite natural. Then you can apply it to different chord shapes. So I have certain patterns that I use a lot. So that'd be from the bottom up. It'd be going 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3. So like a that, and then a that, and then Never, another song of ours, was in 5. So it's 10 notes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just the same pattern. So I'm not going to sing today because I got the flu for sure. But when you're playing any instrument, if you're playing piano or singing, quite often, or all the time, you really want the hands to be on autopilot because you want to be focused on what your head is doing, because that's the more difficult thing to get out and the more expressive thing. So anything that involves you, it makes it easier for your hands, is a good thing. So if I'm picking, really, I mean, some people could do that without looking. It's easy to do that without looking with your fingers because you can just hold that. Your fingers in place, you can feel that. If it was riffing, then it's going to be less movement generally up and down the strings. So I was singing over over quite complicated rhythms and one song, so it's Throwing to the Lions. And then another one was Potential, which was in 13. So but there's not a lot of movement up and down. So that was about singing and playing. Are there any more minor 6 chords? Yes, there is. So a minor 7 chord, like B minor 7 here. You just move that shape straight up and get minor 6 because of the difference in the strings. Can I do minor Knopfler? I looked at some the other day. I don't play a lot of those, but I'll learn some for the next one. Money for Nothing's a cool riff. I'm not going to embarrass myself by playing that, but I will learn it. It was something I looked at actually, and I did plan doing it, so I will do that. So minor chords, it's quite interesting too as well. If you just take the same shape and then move them over the strings, you get different chords because of the intervallic differences in the strings. So the classic, let's say G7 shape, and then up there, so that's a minor 7 and then minor 6. Hello to Shishir Garun. Yeah, I will take a few requests for riffs, but if I don't know it, I won't know it. So Sting wrote a lot of the guitar parts for The Police, and then he wrote some cool stuff for his solo career. But then Dominic Miller is a long-time guitarist, and he's got some incredible stuff. I'll play some stuff on the next live. There's a song called Harmony Road, which is written in 5. I'm going to have to get the tab, but I will put that up as well. It's got some really nice parts, and Shape of My Heart is another classic. I need to learn how to play that properly. And that has got a minor 6 chord in there. The E is, again, difficult to play, but it sounds really good. Hello Shishir, I see you. Any more requests? Let's see what else is a nice one. Yeah, Fade to Black is a cool one. Very cool to play the fingers. Quite easy to play the pick as well. I play bass as well, and I play bass professionally as well. So I generally play that with the fingers because I like a bit more of a touch on that. Although if it's something like metal, like really like hammering it out, then yeah, use the picks. But what's another cool riff I could play? Oh, here's one that I was working on that I really like at the moment. So drop D tuning is where you tune the D string down. And this is used in a lot of new metal stuff because it means the power chord goes from an easy shape to an easier one. Gives a bit more depth. What I did was, so you could use some really nice chords on the bottom string, but then I decided, right, let's put this down even more. C sharp. Oh, this is difficult. Okay. So this allows me to use the C sharp on the bottom note instead of an E, so a C sharp chord. There we go. So that's quite cool. So this came out. Hello to Anil. So that was really cool, and it means I can use that C sharp, and it almost sounds a bit like a 7 string as well, because you've got the it's almost down to a B. So I'll put another video up soon where I'll be demonstrating different drop tunings, so because that could work in a D. A bit weird there, or even an E flat. Thrilling video of man tuning guitar. What I'll do is I'm going to stick this down here and show you a different guitar. This one is the Attention Seeker 3000. Stop scrolling. So what I did with this is I sprayed it crazy colours for the express purpose of getting attention online. And it turns out that the neck has a break in it. So this means that I couldn't really tune it properly up to pitch. So the whole thing is a fourth down. So it sounds like a 7th string, but everything's just been shifted down. So here I'm playing what I think is a B minor chord, but it's actually E minor, F sharp minor pitch. The strings are a bit loose because they are tuned down a lot, so the intonation isn't great up at the top, but it's fun to play and it gives a nice sound. Or chords that you'd have played on a regular tuned guitar is slightly different sounds. Kurt Cobain done a lot of that. What do you mean, like retuning the strings? It's a cool thing to do, and Yvette Young does a lot of that as well. She'll tune the whole thing, like there's open F tuning, she does some crazy stuff, but she's trained as a classical pianist, so she kind of plays like this, which is a bit like piano playing. So this makes things sound quite dark, because even Nothing Else Matters is down. I've got electrics here, yes, I'll play that in a second. I'll plug that in.